Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone's having a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. I'm so excited to be here. How are y'all doing? Oh my goodness. Do you y'all, I don't know if it's too early to say Happy New Year, but listen, this is the last, live stream of this New Year. Gregorian style, right? We all know the astrological New Year starts in March. Anyway, wow, it's so great to see y'all. Hold on, let me pull this up and make sure that okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, y'all, I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. There's so much happening. There's so much I want to tell you about. First of all, we do have the moon in Sagittarius today. Okay, it's conjuncting Mercury. The moon will sextile Venus later today, so that it's just such a great day. Remember, Chiron goes direct today in Aries as well. So it is going to be a wonderful day for everybody. I think, let me just check. The moon is going to sextile Venus. Remember, Venus is in Aquarius for a few more days. I think it's around 5 p.m. My time. But anyway, make a wish. Make a wish. I mean, that's a wonderful sextile. It's really, really, really nice. And we love the moon in Sagittarius. It's all about working on your inner wisdom here, thinking about your future too. I think that this is going to be really nice in terms of just thinking about your values, what you want moving into the new year. So that's really great. That's really great. As we know, we have a new moon tomorrow. I hope everyone is ready for that. Kicking off the new year. That's again very, very, very nice. It's you saw your for hopefully you saw your forecast, because this new moon, it's a little bit serious, right? So it's about getting, really getting in there. Like I'm putting on my aviators. I'm getting serious about my future. I'm looking forward to 2025. This is what I'm going to do. These are the new beginnings. It's not even having like New Year's resolutions. It's more about like New Year evolutions, right? Thinking about how you want to grow, how you want to evolve, who you want to be in 2025, being in touch with your authentic self, and just and reaping everything that you deserve, right? Does anybody have anything really cool they're doing for New Year's? I really want to know. I don't really do like anything really big. I used to, but I'm very excited. Very excited. As you know, 2025 is going to be bonkers. It's going to be bonkers. Really, really, it's going to be a bonkers year. Okay, so hopefully everyone's really excited for big changes. I was going to tell you, 2025, the big themes for 2025, I've come up with 4 C's. Okay, it's all about community. Okay, it's all about courage. It's all about the collective. Yeah. Okay. I forgot my fourth one, but let's just stick with those. I honestly it just slipped. I should have written it down. Um uh uh oh, duh, the biggest one of all, consciousness. Yeah. I talk a lot about that. And this week, remember, I'm not doing the first week of January because there's not that much. And, everything I talked about in your January forecast is really there. And I'm going to do, I did readings again for the full year. You'll see what I did for every sign. Okay. You'll see what I did. You'll see what I did. And then I did a surprise. I don't know if it's a surprise, but I did a tarot reading for humanity. Yeah. hmm So that's another one that I'm gonna, members obviously will get to see that this week, but I'll probably post that over next weekend. Wow, y'all, y'all are so amazing. Thanks so much for being here. Just looking at some of your comments, and I don't know if you can see me a little bit clear. I just got out of the shower, my hair's still wet, and anyway, what am I doing? Why do I tell you that? So 2025, yeah, so get excited. I mean, it's 3 days away. It's 3 days away. 2025 is 3 days away. Okay, remember, it's big. It's big. All the outer planets moving to fire and air. I mean, come on, that's huge. Masculine energy. I mean, things are going to be happening. Remember, we're moving out. We're riding on this 29-degree wave. Yeah, 29 degrees. I can't even. 29 degrees, 0 degrees to 1 degrees. I mean, that's this big wave. 29 degrees is the degree of endings. 2025 is the year of 9 of ending. So there is, we're shifting. Yeah, we're shifting into this new collective humanity, and it is going to be big themes for you. It's going to be major themes for you. All right, humanity, the collective, all of that. So now is a really good time to start really thinking about the role that you play. And when I say community, it can be as small as your family. It can be small. It can be your neighborhood. It can be your bowling club, whatever it is, right? But it can be a lot bigger than that. It can be your state. It can be your country. There's got to be the sense of community that everyone's going to be moving toward. Okay, to help it grow, and so we can ascend. So we can ascend in this major, major, major way. The other thing that I was going to say is that 2025 being the year 9 is the highest vibration that you can achieve in physical reality. So that's another alignment. And I've talked about 4D and moving into this other, just ascending. I'm going to keep this light. So yeah, I hope that makes sense for everybody. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. It is going to be a truly transformative year. You have no idea, like all these, and you got to throw in the fact that Pluto, 250-year cycle, right? The first time in Aquarius in 250 years, and then you throw in Neptune, which is 160 years, right? I've always experienced Neptune moving into Aries, and then you throw in Uranus, an 84-year cycle. That unless you're over 80 years old, you haven't experienced Neptune in Aries. So it is true. Like you're getting a glimpse of 2026 and beyond. So you've got to really plan now where you want to be. Yeah. Okay, so what's really great is Venus moving into Pisces too. One thing that I didn't mention in your January forecast, I'll do it in your weekly reading, but Venus is exalted in Pisces, so that's so sweet, so special, so wonderful. And I talk about your January forecast, but what I didn't say is that yes, Venus will be in Pisces all of January, but pretty much until April because of Venus retrograde. So and Venus is going to move into Aries for a little bit. It's like a whole thing, but we get a lot of Venus exalted, so that kind of like helps smooth things over. That's all about compassion on a whole other level. Okay, does anybody, if you're in the US, by the way, one thing that I want to recommend, all right, do your taxes in January. Yeah, do your taxes in January. I'm just gonna say that. All right. Mhm. And it is because of the Venus retrograde and the fact that Mercury will be retrograde. And a lot of people that wait to do their taxes in March and April. March, we have 2 eclipses. We have Mercury going retrograde. So Mercury's going to be in shadow pretty much. I got to pull up the dates here, but yeah. So it's just, I would just, January, February, early February, as much as you can. Yeah. Um, what else is happening? There's so much that's happening. Pluto and Aquarius, everyone's starting to see. I did say that in my last live stream. You're starting to see Pluto shifting out of Capricorn, moving into Aquarius. Pluto's just getting started. You're going to see a lot of bigger aspects in January. Remember, just like some light themes is space. Yeah. Aquarius rules space, technology, humanity, power to the people. Okay. So you're seeing themes show up in different ways. Different ways. Okay. Structures and systems really, being questioned. Pluto, remember, is ruler of the underworld, right? So there's that depth. I always talk about that depth of think about like, a treasure chest locked up deep in the Mariana Trenches. Well, Pluto wants to know what's in it. And so there's going to be a lot of, and it's very psychological too. And I'll probably do another video just on Pluto to Aquarius. But another thing to remember, all the planets are changing signs next year. It's a big thing. Okay, it's a really big thing. So just be just know things are going to change. Things you're starting to see things change. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy Sunday. Y'all are amazing. Oh my goodness. I'm just looking at all your comments. Happy holidays. Happy everything. Happy everything. Ooh, Faye El Madani from Spain. I love that. Thank you for hopping on. And thank you all for being members. Oh my goodness, Maureen. Great to see you. Also, how's Ruby? Ruby's good. She we thank you for asking. Ruby just had and maybe I'll post a photo. Well, I was gonna post a photo, I didn't, but we had to go to the vet yesterday because she has not been doing well, to be honest. But after yesterday, she had some more shock therapy. She had acupuncture. Is it shock therapy? It's shockwave therapy. And then I have to go back next week, and so she's on new medication for pain. It's a roller coaster. It's roller coaster. But next week is when I find out if she actually has to, do the surgery. She's a little bit too old for surgery. And so that's the other thing. Remember, there's still some other things that are happening with Jupiter. Saturn square. We got Mars opposite Pluto as well. Y'all feeling that? Y'all feeling it? So here's the thing. Like I said, you may feel a little bit of a squeeze, and you can always use these aspects as much as you can. Use a lot of it to go within too, to really, really ask yourself, if you feel that squeeze in certain areas of your life, ask yourself, why would this be happening? What is it that I have to learn? Yeah, what is it that I have to learn? Whether it's like even if it's not something about you, but maybe like your relationship with someone else, or even a pet, or just a lot of different things could come up. The other thing is that I'm wondering if I'm like, I wrote down some notes. By the way, I got verified. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I forgot I was going to write down who someone pointed that out to me in one of the someone left a comment. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's how much like I'm just so not like like a master YouTuber. I didn't even know you could get verified. I was like, "Oh, okay, like I qualify." So I had to just click a few buttons and send something, and so anyway, um, what I was gonna say is, if there's anyone, so thank you for asking about Ruby. Yeah, so I find out next week if she does have to get surgery. She's not in the best place, but I'm doing the best that I can for her right now. And I have friends that come over, so she always jumps up and has so much joy when she sees them. And so it's turning into a fun thing for her. Yeah, very fun things for her. Okay, so one other thing that I was going to address is, I had a lot of questions about the void moon, and I had brought that up in your January. Was it your January for? Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah. So it's when the moon is void, it's basically when the moon is being handed off from like one sign to another, basically. Okay, it's like that transition period where it's not aspecting, it's nowhere really. So when the moon is void, you never want to really make any major decisions. You never really want to do anything that is uh, really important, okay, when the moon is void. And I'll start bringing up more, the good news is it doesn't, sometimes it's only like 30 minutes, sometimes it's an hour, but sometimes it can be like a pretty much like a full day. Sometimes it can be lengthy, but I always plan, Zoom calls if I'm in, an EMT meeting or something that's really big. It's really funny. Sometimes I have no control over that. If I have a big work meeting, and I'll just look and see if the moon is void. If the moon is void, then I know that I'm just gonna, have my thing on, but I'll be doing work like on the side, and not even pay attention to, whoever's speaking. And I know I shouldn't be saying that, but it's because there's nothing. It's just going to be like conversations going in circles. Nothing's going to be solved. When the moon is void, the best thing to do is, clean the house, do normal things. Watch your favorite show, Golden Girls, whatever it is. Things are going to come up. Yeah, moon, emotions, habits, patterns, feelings, all of that. Um, and then I was going to say that Ceres is an Aquarius. So Ceres, I was debating on whether I should talk about Ceres in your January forecast, but Ceres is one of those dwarf planets or asteroid, whatever you want to call it. It's all about like self-nurturing, self-care. It's really nice. And Ceres did have a major conjunction with Venus and Pluto around December 6th to December 8th in Aquarius. So if anyone has anything at around 0 degrees Aquarius, think about what happened around December 6th to December 8th, or any of y'all can just, whatever Aquarius rules for you, think about what happened in that area in your life around that time. There could have been something really significant around that time. The last thing that I want to just, I'm going to talk about this again in your weekly forecast, but just so you can mark it in your calendar now, on January 15th, remember Mars is retrograde. Yeah. So, and it's also very, very bright in the sky. It's going to be the brightest it's been in such a long time. So go out there wherever you live. If you have clear skies, wow, it's going to be so beautiful. Okay. And I can't remember the last time the visibility of Mars has been so nice. The only thing that might obscure it is because it's coming right around the time of the full moon. And so that's the only thing. But, if you have a telescope or maybe even like a good zoom on your phone, that'll be very nice for you. Okay. It'll be very nice to look at. Um, okay. Uh, so 2025 again, really big changes. Get really excited about it. Okay. And really, please trust your intuition. Let your intuition guide you, because there's still going to be a lot of things that are going to, be, wanting to pull you into these low energy frequencies. You don't want that. You don't want that. Okay. So, you're definitely, and a lot of y'all I think are going to be more interested in astrology, by the way, in 2025. Aquarius does pretty much rule astrology, just FY, pretty much. Okay. Like there can be an argument with, another sign, but it pretty much is Aquarius. And so the fact that Pluto's there is a really big thing, that you have a chunk of planets also in January. That's really nice. And remember that astrology predates everything. Yeah. Back to, Sumerians, even before that. But because one thing about astrology is like everything's symbols, right? So all the planets have symbols, all the signs are symbols, they have glyphs. And symbols never change throughout time, throughout history. Language does. Language changes, but not symbols. And so that's why astrology has persevered for so long. One of the reasons why I'm, the Jupiter, my Gemini rising is kicking in. I'm just going to keep talking and talking. So I'll just kind of leave it there. Which is very funny. And this is a great year to start reading your rising sign if you're not reading your rising sign. Yeah, or even your moon. Like my Virgo moon comes out a lot. You know, I'm in Aquarius, as you know. Aquarians ask the questions. We're the question askers. But I'm Gemini rising. Geminis are, you know, the talkers, right? That's why Aquarians and Geminis get along so well, by the way. And so definitely check your rising. I mean, I and that's the other thing, you know, if you look at your some people will resonate with their rising more than their sun sign and vice versa. But you will see sometimes it's years long where, you know, I went through a period where I was identifying more with my sun. Everything was happening with like Aquarius, but then there were many years where it was more Gemini rising, but then it would change, it would fluctuate monthly. And so it really just depends. It also really depends on the degree. So if anybody here has, you know, for instance, okay, let me see if I can give you a good example of this. So my sun and my Venus and my, you know, midheaven are all about like between 9 to 11 degrees in my birth chart, my natal chart. And you know, Pluto moved into Aquarius for the next 19 years. The peak of me feeling that Pluto in Aquarius energy will be when it's at about 8, 9 degrees, maybe even 7 degrees. Yep. So that's going to be around 2028, 2029. That's when I'm really going to feel Pluto in Aquarius, but I'm still feeling it because I'm in Aquarius. Does that make sense? Maybe I'll do a separate thing. You know, with the fact that we're moving into 2025 is, you know, the beginning of us moving into air and fire. Neptune moving into Aries. This is definitely going to be the end of a lot of confusion and a lot of delusion. Remember, we're talking about Neptune here on a collective level. Okay, on a collective level, you'll start seeing that in 2025. Neptune moving into Aries, that's going to be at the end of March, right? And so, what that is taking your visions and your dreams and creativity and inspiration and taking charge, bringing them into your physical realm. You know, Neptune is also healing too. So because Aries, that's that Aries energy. So there's just so much for you to look forward to. And then Saturn moving into Aries in May, that's going to help bring that structure to your dreams and your physical world. He wants to help you make it become a reality. So, I mean, again, those are just like there's so much happening in 2025. I just I don't even know where to start. Does anybody have any questions so far? Let me let's go really Freedom is mine. Yes, I love your profile name, Mind Surgeon. Ooh, that's so good. Next week we'll meet on Saturday, right? Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's for tier 3 members. So I put out a video on the membership, and I think that a lot of y'all know that there's only one change I'm making, and then one addition. These live streams every month for all members. I did it for all members for 2024, and but you'll see it was only for upper tier members, and so it was like a bonus that you're gonna be now. This is starting in January. It's going to be for tier 2 and above. But then tier 3 members, we're doing mini tarot readings. So I'm doing personal tarot readings for free for tier 3 members next Saturday if you want to become a member. And this is, listen, I'm not one of those people that ask you. Have you ever seen me say in any of your videos, y'all, if y'all become members, That's just not me. It's just I do it one time a year. At the end of the year, I just do it. I'm like, hey, if you want to become a member, there's a lot of perks, bonuses, and you know, I really love the community that's, you know, being built here, and you know, it really does help me. Even like you know, anything else, like anything helps me move forward in this way where I can make space to do these readings. And I have so much, like, I love doing this. I love doing your weekly readings. I love doing your monthly readings. I love it when I have time to do bonus readings, and you see that I like pump them out as much as I can. So and I like to give back, and it's not more, I see it more as in like, tier 3 members are really going out of their way to, help support the channel. I'm going to give back to them. And, that's very Six of Pentacles, right? So yeah, I'm doing the mini tarot readings this Saturday. If anybody wants to, yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Dustin, first time joining here. You're a Gemini. Amazing. Thanks so much for being here. I think I remember you leaving a comment. You're ready for 2024 to take a hike. You got, yep, 3 more days. Oh, you battled stage 3 cancer all year long. However, just received the great news. You are in remission. Oh my goodness, Dustin, that's amazing news. I'm gonna start crying. I'm literally on the verge of tears. I'm so happy to hear that, and that is great news. Oh my God, Dustin, that's amazing. I love how this is the news that you received kicking off 2025. So, thank you so much for sharing your story. And everybody, give Dustin a high five and a kissy emoji. Dustin, that's amazing. That is so amazing. And I hope that I can, the videos that I make in your forecast can really help guide you every week as well. Because I do sincerely, genuinely want the best for everybody. And I feel that, and I hope that you can see that. I hope that you can see that. I'm not putting on a show. Like, I genuinely want the best for every sign. And there are some signs, like, you've seen me like really kind of like a mom, just go like, you better take advantage of take advantage of this aspect. TM, this is my first live stream. I'll need to leave early. Oh no. Are you able to access this video at a later time? Yeah, so these live streams I will put for all subscribers to watch after. But this is a way for me to connect with members and speak with y'all and be able to, like, answer any questions that you have, or, any insights that you have, or any subjects that you want to talk about. I'm here for you. Okay. I'm here for you. Y'all are amazing. But yes, you will be able, and there are going to be a lot of videos where it is not, especially the tier 3 videos like that I do will not be released to the public. Those are going to be just for tier 3 members. And those are those bonus spreads. And, even me, like, I'm always very curious too. Like, I'm just like, I want to know what's, because I, have so many people in my life, and I'm sure that, and no matter what sign you are, I've always talked about, like, oh my gosh, my Libra friends go through this, or oh, my Sagittarian friends are doing this, or oh, Pisces, I got so many Pisces, they're my secret crushes. So I know people that are of every side, so it's always just interesting for me as well. So here's the other thing. I know that I promised I was just going to talk about Mars retrograde. That's the other thing that's very interesting. Remember, Mars is retrograde right now, and I know that I've exhausted this subject, but I want you to see if you feel that you are really feeling that Mars retrograde. So here's the thing: like, there's every planet next year will go retrograde. By the way, there's going to be a window in February where no planets are retrograde. Very different from 2024. And it's not such a bad thing. With retrogrades, you always want to, like, go with it. You always want to reassess, reconsider things, rethink things, reevaluate. It's a little bit different with Mars. It's more about being self-empowered, right? So going within, but feeling that charge, okay? Because Mars can be assertive. I want you to sometimes think of Mars as a laser. Just use it to anything that you just need to, I don't need this in my life anymore. That's going to help that empowerment, right? But also at the same time, remember, within, because it's not, Mars retrograde can make, remember, can bring up a lot of right, the claws come out, especially Mars retrograde in Cancer. And so you want to go with the flow, you want to flow with the go, but you really want to take that time to really, really think about what can make me a lot more empowered. All right. Because what happens is you're going to see things slowing down within your world. You're going to see a lot of, egos too, especially with the Mars Pluto opposition that's happening in a few days. A lot of y'all already seeing that. A lot of just like, right? So you want to use this Mars retrograde energy to get ahead. Yeah. All right. Um, and so don't be hard on yourself right now. Please don't be hard on yourself right now. Everything is cyclical. You know that, okay? And so the only reason again that I'm really harping on this Mars retrograde is because A, we haven't had it in many years. B, it's happening during a Jupiter Saturn square. C, it's happening while Mars is opposite Pluto, which are those are just strong. Those are strong energies that, we feel a little bit more of the lower expression. So you want to use that in creative ways. You want to use it, even taking this time to pivot at, certain places that you're in, in your life. So I would use all of this. Okay. Um, and then with Jupiter squaring Saturn, Saturn's all about structures and thinking about maybe new structures that you want for yourself. Um, and there are going to be some aspects. Anybody have well, no, I'll talk about that at a later time. What else that oh yeah, so and remember with the structures, if you want to see it in a global perspective, like remember even the Jupiter Saturn square happening at the same time with Pluto in Aquarius, remember Pluto's got to like break some things down for us to have a breakthrough. Now remember, it's a 19-year process. You're not going to see things happen overnight, but Pluto is so freshly new in Aquarius. You're going to start seeing things a little bit now, and you're seeing that. You're seeing that. You're seeing a lot more of the public expressing themselves, and when I say public, humanity, the collective, expressing themselves in how some structures and systems are need change, need reform, right? And in many countries across the world. So you're starting to see a lot of Pluto in Aquarius in progress. But remember, this is 2025 is not a year to be silent. You want to raise everyone's frequency and you want to speak from the heart, though. You want to do things that are constructive, that are helping humanity, right? You're going to start seeing, and it's just naturally going to happen. You're going to start seeing it in 2025, where you're going to start thinking about how you contribute not only to the collective, but also just even like your communities. It's just going to happen. Okay. It's always good to just kind of like prepare and get ahead, because there's got to be a lot of changes. And it's not just, and we're talking about maybe like these big structures across, even Hollywood's going to change. Hollywood, can you believe that? No one would have ever. It's going to change. A lot of things are going to change, so it's a good time to be open-minded about what is possible, and some things that you never thought were possible are gonna you're gonna start seeing those, right? Oh yeah, the drones. Didn't I say I was gonna talk about the drones? I said to look at the skies. One thing that I said about last live stream was, I said the word coyote, right? Didn't I say coyote? And so the reason I said coyote is because when I was channeling, I kept seeing these coyotes. And it's really interesting because intuitively I know that is coyotes represent the creation myth. Yeah, if you want to think about like ancient civilizations, it is all about creation. And so if you want to think about that with the drones, everyone's, by the way, have you noticed it's no one's talking about it anymore? right? Have you noticed that? Okay, so the other thing is coyotes in Native American cultures. Um, we're known for like trickery and being cunning, and coyotes were a little like, "Er." So yeah, that's how I want you to see the drones. It's not anything that you should not be afraid of anything that's it's sure they're all over the world. There's more questions than there are answers, but they're all gone now, right? How funny is that? And I think that I mentioned that, yeah, there is just with the fact that Pluto's in Aquarius and then Uranus moving to Gemini. That's breakthroughs in communication and on so many levels, by the way. So there's that too. And yes, there is by the way, I think that a lot of y'all saw like those hologram drones or whatever in the sky. Those you can do that with lasers, with like high quality lasers. But anyway, just like it's not that's the if you want to think of like UAPs and extraterrestrials and whatnot, they're on our side. Okay, they're on our side, and they've always they're waiting for us to evolve and to reach this point of consciousness. But yes, there is going to be some movement in that capacity in 2025. 2020, I can't even begin to like. I hope everyone can. I think that like there's going to be at some point you're going to come back to this video and be like, oh yeah, Jim was like, I never saw that coming. That's a big thing. That was a big thing. And remember, I'm not just using astrology, I'm channeling it as well. And so I have my big book here. I had to get a new book. It's over there, but I was going through it and there's still so many things that I had mentioned in past live streams that are um to come. But here's the big takeaway. You know how I always say raise your frequency, right? Raise your frequency. Everything is made of energy. We're all made of energy, okay? And so therefore, because everything is made of energy, there are certain things that can bring you this low energy frequency, whether it's something that you read, whether it's something that someone says to you, right? And so that's why I say trust your intuition, okay? Raise your frequency, okay? Do not refuse to give yourself joy, okay? Um remember your purpose, okay? Or like and if you don't know your purpose, because I get that a lot from a lot of people, even when I did, the private readings, take time for yourself to reconnect with you and you will know, okay? And you will know. And so um oh yeah, and the solar flares are really active. Did you know we were at peak maximum? So we're still at peak maximum with the solar flares. So that's what we call like CMEs, are coronal mass ejections that come from the sun. We had a really big one today. It was an X class flare. X class would be like the highest, like the whoa, right? We had peaks. The biggest peaks of this year, by the way, were the first week of October. There was some in May, but the first week of October. So think about, just think about what happened the first week of October, okay? Oh, we also had an eclipse at that time too. Oh my goodness. So a lot of celestial stuff happening. So we're still going to be at kind of like peak season, let's call it, through, the next few months or so. All right. But you're going to feel a lot of different types of energies. Does anybody feel drained? Let me know if you feel drained. I'll tell you why. And I already did, but I'll say it again if you do feel drained. Um, but here's the thing: there may be some things that your mind can't even grasp by like when we move through 2025. So again, as long as you're vibrating at this high frequency, you're going to be absolutely fine. You're going to be absolutely fine because no one will be able to bring you into this low energy frequency. There's a really big difference with mm, mhm, mm, mhm. Yummy. Okay. It's just water, by the way. Um, so one thing that when you raise your frequency, okay, I want you to remember gratitude is in the now. Raising your frequency is in the now. Focus on the now. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Your now creates your future. Yeah. Your past is what you learn. I always say this. There's a big difference between the past and history. Okay. Sometimes you have to let your past become history. Okay. Especially when you're vibrating at this high frequency, you're going to be in the now, you're going to be more self-aware, you're going to be raising your consciousness, right? So if there's anything that's happened, whether it was, maybe a breakup or losing a job, or when you're expending your energy into things that have happened in the past, you it's almost like you're doing yourself a disservice. All right, so remember, what are the things that you have to learn to be at peak 700 hertz or higher? Let's talk. Okay, based on the emotional frequency chart, you want to be like, that's good. Okay, so just know that letting some things go, that's a superpower. You were dropping an anvil. Okay, you're making this choice to you're choosing yourself. You're choosing to love yourself. um and love is, what is the saying? Love is the only language that should be spoken fluently, or something like that. I remember, I may have made that up at some point, but anyway, I'm sure someone has said that. So it's all about raising your consciousness. There's this mind heart coherence that, when you're aware of it, you bring in spirit, you bring in soul, you're gonna be floating this high vibration, next level enlightenment, and that is evolving, right? That is evolving. Okay. um and I did talk about polarities. So you just become more bulletproof when you're trusting your intuition, vibrating high frequency. um because when I talk about polarities, you cannot have like bad without good. Good can't exist without bad, right? So it's always just knowing that if you want to see it on a spectrum for itself, like, always being true to you. Okay, there's got to be some things that test humanity, not you, humanity, right? In 2025, because some of these energies are so new that humanity is gonna be like, what's going on? But there's a reason why we call it the age of ascension, and the age of awakening, and the age of wisdom, and the golden age, and all of that. Yeah. Yeah. So just keep that in mind, because again, there can be some things that can have these really quick, you can have like be very reactive to some things that like those low energy let me give you, okay, you know what, let me give you an example. Let's say you go to this beautiful forest. Yeah, you're going camping or a day trip, whatever it is. There's butterflies and beautiful oak trees, and this amazing lake, where the sun is just reflecting off that lake, that huge sunset. People come here all the time. It's an Instagram hotspot. You're listening to nature at night. The stars are the clearest you've ever seen them. It is the most beautiful, beautiful forest. It's the most beautiful forest. And you're like, I can't wait to go back. I never want to leave. And nature, remember, that helps raise your frequency, right? So you're in this beautiful forest. Now imagine you go to this beautiful forest with a friend, and they tell you it's full of bears and wolves and piranhas, right? You're going to have a very, very different experience, right? Than when you go and it's that beautiful place. So there's gonna be some things always testing your frequency. And when you trust your intuition, you're going to be fine, because that is something that's trying to bring you to this low energy frequency. And so there's, like I said, so many different timelines happening at the same time. When you trust your intuition, you already know, what is true. Does that make sense? Teresa, I'm gonna look at, yeah, you, how old is Ruby? She's a Virgo. She turned 12 in September. Mhm. Um, so yeah, she's getting there. Okay, so oh gosh, the thing is just scrolling. Okay, so Shelly, you dreamt of coyotes last night. That is crazy. Okay, so there may be someone you may be picking up on, someone that, maybe a little right, deceptive or that trickery energy. Actually, I think it is in the tarot, the divine, the a deck that I use where is it the force or there's one with the allegory of coyotes. uh Faye L. Madani. Drones are man-made, but the plasma orbs aren't. I've seen them in 2012. So that's a good point that you're bringing up because one thing that I wanted to mention is that not all of them, the plasma orbs, not all of them are man-made and whatnot. So one thing that here, okay, so before I even say what I'm about to say, let's go way back. Okay, let's go way back to when Plato, right? When Plato said, he talked about the Platonic solids, but then also there was a fifth element, right? And so it was water. It was what, fire, earth, water, air, and the ether. Yeah, the ether. When we think about like as above, so below. Like anyway, fifth element ether taken out of the periodic table in the 1920s. All of that. Like again, I can talk. I'm gonna talk your ears off. But when we think about the ether, when we think about different, dimensions and whatnot, yeah, there's some like. Here's the thing: nobody on Earth can still explain gravity, right? They're like 80% of like science, physics, whatever it is. They're all theories. So there is, yes, some of these other, let's call them plasmoids, right? Can slip in and out. And that's why you can see them just kind of vanish, like in and out of let's just call them dimensions. I don't want to go too Aquarius on you right now. But that's a whole thing. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Um all right. ND4. How do you protect yourself from negative energy? Well, that's the thing. Crystals help so much. And again, I always recommend you going to a crystal store and seeing what you resonate the most with. Okay. All crystals, they vibrate, the frequency, right? So that's one thing. And B, it's everything I just said is vibrating at a high frequency. And that's gonna help. Okay. That's gonna help in a really big way. I hope that's okay. Okay, so Marshall, thank you so much for your readings. My first member live stream. Well, thank you for being a member. Oh, yes, little Capricorn. I love that. I love it when y'all use those emojis. Okay, so yes, a lot of y'all are feeling drained, and it is because of you could feel the solar flares, right? So what's really interesting about the solar flares, if you don't keep track of it, it's fine because oh, here's a tip. You almost always know there's been some major solar flare activity, especially X class, when there's the aurora borealis, right? The northern lights in places in the world where they're normally not at. So whenever you see that like come up in your news feed or whatnot, that may be a big reason, but you can definitely feel. We had one over Christmas. We had a couple of big ones. So a lot of y'all could have felt drained around the 24th, the 25th, because remember, Jupiter's for Saturn too. And then, Mars opposite Pluto, which is, we're coming up to that. And so just that kind of energy, that kind of vibe. But remember, we're coming out of it. Okay. We're going to be coming out of it. Everything is cyclical. Beatrice, you said you've been drained, you felt drained all year. Well, I hope not. Well, I hope that you can find a plug for that drain. Did you get that or no? Is that uh it has been a very interesting year, and 2025 is the year. By the way, remember what I said, everyone's going to be experiencing new things for the first time. That was, there is an element of that with astrology, but that's me channeling. It's just everyone on this, like, just something new, something different, never experienced before. 2025 is the year that there's gonna be very, very few people that are going to say nothing ever happens for me. Very few people. Okay. And if you're vibrating at high frequency, you don't say it anyway. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, how there's going to be this shift, there's going to be this ascension, but also there's all these new things that are going to be happening for everyone. So I do want y'all to get really, really, really excited. Okay. Um, Dustin, you said, kind of changing topic here. What about seeing the same repeating numbers all of the time, anywhere, everywhere, no matter where? That means you are definitely, that's, we would call it, well, synchronicity. I say synchronicity. Um, that's, that you are completely connected into the divine at that point, right? That is you being completely aware. That's the universe giving you winks. Now, you can, depending on the numbers that you see, you can go according to numerology. You can go according to, depend, again, they all mean something. What I've learned is sometimes it's also you, what's happening in that moment when you see those numbers, when these things happen, it's what you take away from it too. And so it is very, very, very auspicious. That's very nice. I'm so, so glad. Oh my goodness, the ADHD lawyer. Oh my God, I love your screen. Okay, so I'm so freaking ready to shift. Yes. And I hope that everyone, remember, we have to do this as a collective. And so that may be the biggest test right now, is because this is something that it's been a long time since everybody on this planet has collectively, had this big shift, this ascension. And as you know, so one thing that would be great for everybody to work on, and again, I feel like this is going to be just natural, that's going to happen throughout 2025, especially 2026. There's a lot of divide. There's so much divide. And so when we stop seeing things as like left and right and, this and that, like, that's how we ascend. We all got to work together. So it is definitely going to be, again, this is a 19-year process, but you're going to start seeing, Pluto just, he put on his leather jacket, and Pluto in Aquarius, he's ready to go to the party, and he's snapping his fingers along the way. And every time he snaps his finger, that's like, it's like making, like, I'm shaking things up. It's like, I'm going to be the start of this party. And so you're going to see, he going to do this for 19 years. 19 years. Which, by the way, time is, it does feel like is just whoosh, right? Bucci, you said, I keep trying to figure out the connection of astrology and the mind, the unconscious. When you don't have a choice to just let go, are those fated? Well, what's really interesting about that is there's a huge connection, especially when you think about ancient astrologers. But then, who really brought that back was Jung, Carl Jung. So he used, actually, he was basically a secret astrologer, and he used astrological archetypes and aspects. And he was all about the subconscious and the unconscious and even the conscious or whatnot, but yeah, there is a huge connection. And again, let me repeat that astrology exists today because it works. It's that as above, so below. It's everything that it's predated everything, right? It's predated governments, medicine, whatever it is, anything. Astrology has been there from the beginning. Okay, so let me see if there's anything that y'all no did y'all tell anyone do it? So new moon, set intentions, remember around 5 p.m. Eastern time, my time. Yeah. And tap into your inner warrior with Mars retrograde. Okay. Create your path. Create your path. That's why I talk about that laser. Just cut the weight, if your path has a lot of, I don't know, banana plants in the way, is cut them out of your way in the path, okay? And then all the animals will come get him, so they don't go to. Anyway, Mars is also out of bounds too. I'm gonna not do that. But again, remember, there's so many great aspects that are happening throughout 2025. Many that is we have not ever experienced. And every sign and every planet is going to be moving between 0 to 20. I mean, it really is going to be a big year. I don't even know. It's so hard for me. And if you look at like my annual forecast for like 2024, even 20, that's very easy. Those are very easy. But because there's so much happening in 2025, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? All right. So anybody have any other questions? Okay. This is scrolling really fast. I'll take a look after. I have to go have brunch after this. But I'll come back and I'll take a look after at some questions because it's scrolling. So I think I'm okay. Someone asked, ADHD lawyer, you asked, Chiron is a wounded healer. Yes. And Marshall, yes, Chiron is kind of new to our awareness. Absolutely, it's only been a few decades, but it's very interesting, and that's why I feel like there's a lot of asteroids, planetoids, whatever you want to call them, Aries, Ceres, Chiron. I mean, there's gotta. I'm definitely gonna talk more about them in 2025. Eris is a big one. Okay, so let me see. Marshall, you said dark moon. Oh, yeah, it's a black moon tomorrow too, right? It's the second new moon of the month. Remember that. So we were blessed with these two new moons. The one tomorrow, please set intentions. Please set intentions. All right. Please remember, sextiling Saturn. Saturn is commitments. Sticking to commitments. It just happens to be, overlapping the first. So it depends on where you live, December 30th, December 31st. But wow, what a way to kick off the new year. I wonder if there's anything else. And then remember, we are going to be, there's just so much happening in January. I actually can't wait to do your weekly forecast for the full moon in Cancer that we're going to have mid-month. It is going to be really big. And then we have the Sun Pluto conjunction the week after that. So yeah, it's just I'm just kind of grazing a little. There's just so much happening, but as you know, this is going to be a big year. And I wish everyone the best. I hope everyone has an amazing year, and I'm gonna help guide you through every week. All right. And then with these live streams, yes. And remember, oh my goodness, and don't forget, remember, so I think I trailed off here. I like digressed, but so the monthly live streams will now be for second tier members. So it'd be great if you can become a second tier member. You're really good is the title of it. Tier 3, which is really good and legendary. Tier 3 is so again, tier 3, we're meeting on Saturday coming up right after New Year's, and we're gonna do, I'm gonna do mini readings for all y'all, tarot readings. And then I do have another surprise for you for February. And then tier 2, yes, live streams. And I love being here talking to y'all. And yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit more than once a month because 2025 is gonna be so major. There's so many things jam packed and so many big shifts we're going to go through. So I just want to check in with y'all too and have these conversations. I want y'all to come in and um, talk with each other too and communicate with each other. And some of y'all, I mean, I've noticed throughout the year, some of y'all have the same like sun and rising. Some of y'all live in the same towns. Some of y'all were born in the same places. I mean, y'all have so much in common. Y'all have so much in common. So, um, you asked a gorgeous painting. I can't. Do you paint? Carl Jung is a great philosopher. Thank you so much. And that was a friend that did that, and that was just a photo that I took. I think it was a few birthdays ago in Mexico, but it was the sunset. It was gorgeous. So I just had it blown up and matted. Um, all right. The black moon, by the way, it's because it's two new moons in a month. Okay. Anyone have any other questions? Dustin, thank you for today. About to have to sign off and hope to see you soon. Looking forward to more videos as well. Thank you so much for joining, Dustin, for becoming a member, for joining this live stream. I hope that everyone, Juno, McKinsey, you talk about Juno, yes. Yeah, so we will talk a little, and I'm going to do it I'm not going to just throw it at you, but I'll casually introduce these asteroids, planetoids that do have really big impact. Okay, remember, in 2 days from now, Mercury will trine Chiron. That's going to be really nice. But Chiron does station direct today. And remember, the moon's gonna be sextiling Venus tonight. Oh, please just start. Venus is what your heart desires. Venus is things that bring you pleasure. I really love this. Have a really great moment today as you set yourself up for your New Year's plans and where you want to be in 2025. Okay. So y'all, thank you so much. Sheila, you asked, will tier 1 be able to rewatch replays of the live stream? Yes, they will. Everyone will be, all subscribers, but yeah, being a part of it, I highly recommend you becoming a tier 2 member. I highly recommend all of y'all, if you're members, becoming tier 2 members. Of course, I'm going to ask that. If you're a subscriber, I really would, I am very grateful for all of this. So any subscribers that want to become members, know that you get a lot of benefits, perks. There's fun things we do. And I think one thing that I've just loved seeing is this sense of community, even when y'all, go into the comments for the sign and talk to each other. That just makes me feel so. But again, remember, I am an Aquarius. I've got my midheaven, my Venus, all of an Aquarius. I'm all about humanity, all about, the collective community. I love that stuff. All right. So, okay. So, thank you so much, y'all. Okay. Stay Frosty merchandise shirt. Yeah, I need I love that. That used to be an art director, Bucci. Okay. Oh my gosh. Stay Frosty, be cool. I got merchandise and new ones coming out. Jean, so great to see you. Where were you hiding? Tier 3 is so worth it. Thank you so much, Jean. It really is, y'all. It really is. You get the monthly and that's the thing about tier 3. It's such a more intimate group that I answer all your questions. Like it's a whole thing. But so that's 2 live streams for tier 3 members that you get every month. But again, I have surprises coming through that 2025 for tier 2 or 3. But yeah, for all of y'all, I'm going to do so much for y'all this year. I want to do so much for y'all. Okay. Anyway, y'all, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, happy new moon tomorrow, and happy new year. And I will see you in 2025. I'm going to see you in 2025. This is going to be very, very, very exciting. I'm so ready. I'm so happy about 2025. So y'all, thank you so much. Vibrate at this high frequency. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Remember, Venus is just gonna bring so much. You're gonna feel that tonight, okay? You're gonna feel that tonight with the moon sextiling Venus. I love that. You know, the moon, remember, being emotions and whatnot. So anyway, y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Happy Sunday. Have a great weekend. Have an amazing new moon tomorrow. Set intentions, and then have an amazing New Year's Eve. Y'all are amazing. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. All right. I'll see y'all later. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Okay. Bye, y'all.